Welcome back, everyone. Are you ready to take a budget of all budget pandemic economical inflation trip with me? Alright, buckle up, let's get ready. Before I start, I would like to show my respect and acknowledgement to the traditional custodians of the land, of elders past and present, on which this meeting takes place. We will be exploring the northern part of the Northern Territory, Australia. Without further ado, let's go on a journey. Woo! Out of the whole trip, this was the most expensive, renting out the car. It was what we got around, and it was the cheapest car that we can rent. It cost us $1,021.27 between Janelle and I. We rented the car for 5 days. As you can see, I'm really excited but also very nervous about renting such a small car around the NT because, you're gonna run into everything from dingoes, emus, crocodiles, kangaroos. Oh, what can possibly go wrong? We are leaving from Darwin and going to Kakadu National Park. It takes over an hour and a half. I would like to introduce you to my work friend. Him and I work together. And just saying, ladies, he's single and he's got abs. I put his Instagram in the bio and I suggest you follow him. We have arrived to Kakadu National Park. Before we get to our campsite, we are stopping off at Mamukala Wetlands. Check out the view of the untouched Aboriginal crocodile-infested waters and land. Wow! You definitely do not want to go swimming in there, but I will be teasing Mr. Crocodile, you can't catch me, na 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 na. Optional, there is a 3-kilometer hike that you can do. Unfortunately, we didn't do it because we had to get to our campsite. Are you ready for our amazing accommodation? Oh, 5-star TripAdvisor. It's everything I dreamt it would be. So, I want to show you my amazing application of putting up my tent. We are going Brokeback Mountain style. Janelle and I sharing a tent. Do you have a problem with it? Then go find another NT video and watch that. Thank you very much. For this plot of land to sleep on, it cost us $24 each. All up, $48 for both of us to sleep in the tent on the ground. After a good night's sleep, I am in my element. I am strong, I am powerful, I am feeling this Aboriginal culture, and I'm taking it and making my own strength. Our first hike of the day is at Nawulanja. This is a sacred Aboriginal rock that holds significant points in history of the oldest civilization in the world. Over 20,000 years ago, our Aboriginal ancestors lived on this rock. They painted, they ate, they repopulated, they tried to survive in the hostile environment. I can feel this extraness in my blood. You can see it in my movements. Brokeback Mountain edition, which is obviously the best edition in my opinion. A lot of the walks that we did in Kakadu National Park was no less than 25 minutes, so it's suitable for children, elderly, everyone who wants to give this beautiful national park a good go. At the time of this filming, we were visiting at the end of April towards the end of May. The weather was amazing, it was the dry season, and we could not have picked a better time to visit. On the same day, we took the yellow water cruises. Now I will try and say the Aboriginal term. Ningurangurajiba. You can book this river tour from Corinda Lodge. It would cost us $86.95. If you want to know what the shenanigans are in the bush, there's a crocodile there. Check out this picture. We continued on the boat, everyone was all lovely, and we were able to look at the lovely crocodile-infested water. I will definitely be staying on the boat. After the crocodile boat ride, we hopped in our car to go race over to Nadab Lookout to look at the iconic sunset. Yes, quick! This was around about 5:30 in the afternoon, and peacefully we were able to just sit down, and I was able to calm down my anxiety of trying to get to everything on time. Woo! With such a moment of privilege, I was able to witness this sunset. I was able to set up my GoPro and put a time lapse, see how it just goes down slowly with the clouds. It was absolutely perfect and breathtaking. I forgot to mention about my flights. The cost was cheap. It was from Brisbane to Darwin return for $202. Mind you, I had to fly from 8:30 at night, and then I flew back home at 1:30 at night and arrived back in Brisbane at 5:30 in the morning. Ugh, it was worth it though. This was just a short, moderate hike up the hill to go to this lookout. It is Marari Lookout. From this drone shot, you can definitely see how preserved Kakadu National Park is. I feel like you have actual indigenous aboriginals living in these untouched lands that no one can even find. I wanted to add that I only spent $18.06 for the 5 days that I was in the bush, which consisted of chickpeas and fruit. Our next national park is Nitmiluk National Park, where you can find the Great Katherine Gorge. From Kakadu National Park to Katherine Gorge took us nearly 2 hours driving. I like this. This is just a simple hike through the sand. As you can see in the water, you would find crocodiles in the season, so we were hoping to get a kayak, but we came a month early, which is unfortunate, but I'd rather walk than get eaten and tipped over by a crocodile. I'm not too sure what the procedure of getting crocodiles out of the Katherine Gorge is, but I wouldn't want to do that job, so I'll leave it to the experts. We are walking up to the lookout. It was just like climbing stairs. Really easy, and you can take your time, depending on your fitness. After visiting the Katherine Gorge, we hopped in our car and we were going to Mataranka Hot Springs. I am so sweaty, and we were causing drama immediately between Janelle and I. I just don't know how we were able to come together and put our differences beside us, but you know what? That's what good friends are made of. I feel like jumping in, but first we had to go do Stevie's Hole, which was a nice walk, but when we got to the end, it was anticlimactic from a Queenslander's perspective. I don't understand the hot spring science behind it, but when I jumped into the water, it was very warm and inviting, and best of all, more humans than crocodiles, because that's just what we want, okay? We want the crocodiles to be in their habitat, and then we humans can be in our own habitat. I don't understand where all these palm trees came from. Usually they come from Queensland, but you know, they're here, and yeah, it looks really nice, so not complaining. To go from Katherine Gorge to Mataranka Hot Springs will take you nearly an hour and a half. This water is so clear that I was able to look at Janelle's abs. Beautiful. Since this is fresh water, you will sink a lot harder, so keep yourself afloat. We stayed at Mataranka campsite, and that was $20 a night for each person. The next morning we went back to Katherine Gorge area to go visit a waterfall that we missed out on. This waterfall is called Edith Falls. We are glad that we had a quick stopover to have a look at this beautiful place. After Edith Falls, we were going to Litchfield National Park. From Edith Falls, it was under 3 hours to drive. Now I am excited to introduce you to my favorite waterfall to swim at. It is Florence Falls Waterfall. There isn't much to say about it. I'm just going to let these drone shots take your breath away. It is amazing. It is only a 15 to 20 minute walk to get to the waterfalls. Definitely worth it. Now you're wondering if there's any crocodiles in this creek. I don't know. I just know that there's a lot of people swimming here, and I am very vigilant when it comes to swimming in the water. The water was incredible. It was in the afternoon, and everything about it was just made me thankful to go to this waterfall. It calmed me down, and I had such a great time. Now, of course, I had to go swim to the waterfall and put my head underneath it. It was like a bunch of hammers hitting my head. I wouldn't suggest it for people, but it was fun and I don't regret it. Ooh, we are going to have 5-star TripAdvisor accommodation. For this tourist park to go camping, it was $21 each person a night. In Mataranka, we were sleeping on the hardest rocks you could ever imagine, so we were happy to have some grass to sleep on. Oh, that sunset gets me every time, NT. After a nice sleep on the grass, we went to the next waterfall. Oh, silly us, we forgot to pack water. So we did the next best thing and went to the fresh running water of the waterfall. Thank you, Mother Nature, it just doesn't get much better than that, and that was, of course, for free. Visually, this is my favorite waterfall. You can't swim in this area, but that is for a good reason. We want to keep it the way it is. Use your eyes and not your hands. Check out these drone shots. Wow! This waterfall is called Tolmer Falls. It is quick access from the car park, or you can do the loop, which will take you 20 minutes. Now, I will sit back and make sure I don't go off the cliff because I want to come back alive to Queensland. From Darwin to Litchfield National Park, it is over an hour and a half. Mind I say, I will take this opportunity to talk about how expensive the tours are in this region. It is about over $200 just to go to one national park. I don't know what's worse, being in a bus full of people and they're all like, oh, I'm from New South Wales, or I'm from WA, and blah blah blah. I don't care, I'm trying to get to the waterfalls. Speaking of the next waterfall, this place took me by surprise. This is Jitaba Falls. This hike will take you 20 to 25 minutes, but when you get to this waterfall, it is incredible. It is just a small pool around a waterfall, and it is not deep, there's no crocodiles, there is just hot men everywhere, it is just the place to be. Look at me swim around, it's like I'm a mermaid. I am just thriving in this place. It is just the feeling of the water and the waterfalls. I am in touch with my element in this area. And what's this? Oh, another waterfall, but this one is nice. You can't swim in it because I haven't checked the crocodiles, but this is called Wangi Falls. Now, Janelle was being naughty and putting the finger up, but I had to punish him. Stop it! Stop it, you! When we get back to the tent, I am going to absolutely demolish you. And you will not be walking as good as you are right now. Moving on from our shenanigans, this is the top of Wangi Falls. You can hike up there, but make sure you look out for the golden orb spiders. They are everywhere. In just one day, we were able to do 4 hikes, so I was hot and exhausted and just angry. We made it back to Darwin, and look at that sunset. Oh! And no, I couldn't end the trip without visiting my good old drag queens. Oh, look at them, they are fierce, Darwin. You have got it going on. As soon as I got back to Darwin, I started drinking immediately and drank for 2 days. It was awesome. For our accommodation, we stayed at a hostel called the Youth Shack Hostel. It is chaotic but amazing, and we got it for 3 nights for $84. Our petrol to do the loop ended up being over $250.36. Now let's get a total of the cost for our flights, accommodation, petrol, renting the car, food, some of the tours, some of the national parks. We got it up to $1,780.64. That's if you are just doing the national parks and not going out like I did for 2 nights. Now please like and subscribe for more content to help this channel grow.